Tuesday, page 22. During that time that Moshe was raised in Pharaoh's house, Moshe, we're doing Shlishi, page 22 in Chayenu, verse 11. In those days that Moshe became great, he went out to his brethren, and he saw their suffering. Vayar ish Mitzri, and he saw a Egyptian man, Maki ishivri me'achav, hitting a Hebrew man, one of his brethren. Rashi, Yigdal Moshe. We said in the last verse yesterday, verse 10, that it says he grew up. The boy grew up. He grew up. His mother raised him for the first years of his life, because she was hired to nurse him. Once he was weaned, he went to the palace. It says when he grew up, he went to the palace. Well, it says he grew up again. So the difference is, Rabbi Yehuda bar Eloi, the difference in the two phrases. Harishon l'koima, the first verse refers to his physical stature. He was weaned, he was older, he was, back then they would nurse for many, many years, and, so he's probably, an older child when he's totally weaned and he went to the palace. And the second here is he grew not physically, but in stature. He rose in the ranks of Pharaoh's house till Pharaoh appointed him in charge of his palace. By the way, that's so cool. I never thought of that. That Moshe's first job was that he was an administrator of a big palace.
This is like Yosef, and it's also from the Midrash?
Yeah, it says in the Midrash.
Jeez.
Okay. Later we're going to see that that's not the job that when God wanted to hire him to be the leader of the Jews, that wasn't the resume line that caught God's attention. It wasn't that he was administrator of Pharaoh's house. The resume line was that he was a shepherd that cared for every sheep. Interesting to note. I'm just comparing and contrasting. Okay. Oh, you went to Harvard? That's very nice. Very nice. Oh, you were a shepherd? Okay, you have the job. Okay. Ish Mitzri, an Egyptian man.
No, but he had God's attention well before that.
Okay, obviously, but we learn from what was the main accomplishment that made him leadership material. We'll get there. Moshe saw in their suffering. What does he saw this? He set his eyes and heart on being distressed about their plight, meaning he became mature and empathetic to set he developed tremendous sympathy for the Hebrews, which were his brethren. Ish Mitzri, a Mitzri man. This Mitzri man, this Egyptian man, Noiges Hayim Amuna al Sheti Yisrael, he was a taskmaster. He was a taskmaster in charge of the Israelite overseers. And he would rouse them for work already at the first cock crowing of the rooster. So if you remember, the way it worked was that there was the system of the slaves was there were slaves and there were Jewish overseers that were responsible to make sure their block of Jewish slaves do the right quota. On top of the overseer was Egyptian taskmasters. So this taskmaster, Malkeu Makish, he was hitting the man. Rashi says, he was beating him and oppressing him. It wasn't like a one-off thing. He was really beating him again and again. Here's the interesting backstory. This Jewish overseer was the husband of a woman mentioned later called Shlomis Bas Divri. What was the story? Vinasa Inaba, this Egyptian taskmaster desired her, set his eyes upon her, and he made a plan. He would wake up her husband to go to work in the middle of the night and leave the house. And then sometime later, the Egyptian he would go back and get into bed with his wife. She would think it's her husband. And she didn't think it was anything wrong. She realized it was dark, and she realized it was her husband. It was not her husband.
This that sounds like a fairy tale, Rabbi.
And the man came back. The husband would come back in the morning where I realized what happened. And when the Egyptian realized that his plot was discovered, his disgusting plan, what did he do? He was beating the Egyptian taskmaster the whole day. So first he abused his wife, and then he would abuse him, hurt him. Yeah. Yud Beis. So Moshe looked this way and that way. And saw there was no man. So he struck the Egyptian dead. And hit him in the sand. Rashi, even Kayvachai. So literally it means he looked. Am I in the clear? Rashi learns it in not in a literal way. The reason is that Moshe, he didn't have to tell you, Moshe craned his neck this way, craned his neck that way, and saw no one to just said, and then finish. He saw no one's there. Just say he saw no one's there. Torah doesn't, tell he scratched his head. Right? So why are you telling me he looked this way and that way? Just say he saw no one was there. The answer is it's teaching us something different, that he saw what was going on. He realized why this was happening, because this Egyptian taskmaster, did this thing in the house and did with his wife, and then beat him in the field. That's the more medrash way. The simple meaning is, no, you could say he turned this way and that way. He saw there's no people. So Rashi says it doesn't mean literally. It means he saw prophetically there'd be no person that would convert out of this Egyptian. This Egyptian would just bear horrible people.
It wasn't murder. There was no way it could be murder. It was just justifiable anger, in my opinion.
Right. Well,
no way. This is manslaughter plus.
Well, I
don't. What do you mean, Nazi Germany? This is in Nazi Germany, Mashma. This is manslaughter. I mean,
I doubt it.
Okay.
Moses got excited and he killed somebody.
Was it justified?
You don't even need the story to justify that.
Anyways,
As a stretch, you could say it was justified homicide, I suppose.
Yud Gimel. 13. He went out the next day, and there were two Hebrew men quarreling. He said to the wicked one, why do you hit your companion?
It makes a statement here over and above that, but there's in any argument, there's always a good guy and a bad guy. And that doesn't have to be true, because sometimes people have, each one has a side to it.
Next verse, Yud Gimel, Rashi. The two Ivri men that were fighting were quarreling. Who were they? These are the troublesome Dasan Aviram, Hein Shesir Min Aman, who left over some portion of Man. How does Rashi know this? Because later on, the term Ha'anashim, the men, is not used a lot of time for a duo of people, but it is used later on by Dasan Aviram.
And one of these is Edgar Robinson, right?
Edward G. Robinson. That's who I'm told played Dasan. Okay. Nitzim. Nitzim, is an unusual word. It means quarreling, merivim. Lamasaka, why will you hit? Wicked one, why will you hit? Like future tense. He didn't hit him yet, but he was about to. He raised his fist. So that alone qualified him as Moshe calling him a Rasha. The mere thought to hit.
Oh, this is originator. You can't lift your hand up to a yid.
Right.
Wow.
Reyecha, your friend, who's Rosh, your fellow who's like you, your wicked man in arms, your companion, who's just like you. Okay. Yudalid. So he replied, I guess it was Dasan, the one who's about to strike, said, who made you a man? I'm sorry, who appointed you as a man to be an officer and a judge on us, over us? Do you want to kill me? Do you plan on killing me? Kasher harakta. Do you plan to kill me like you killed the Samitzi, the Egyptian, yesterday? Or whatever, day before. Vayira Moshe vayomar. Moshe was afraid. Vayemer, and he said, indeed, the matter is known. Oh no, the matter is known. Yodalit. Misam chalish. Who appointed you as a man? You're still really a boy. Moshe was probably in his teens then.
He's 77 and he's a boy.
He's not 77. Who says 77? He's a teenager. Do you say to kill? Literally, do you say to kill me? This teaches us that how did Moshe kill him? Moshe killed him by the saying, with speech. He used a name of God that was able to kill the Egyptian.
Wow.
He killed Guy by the explicit name of God, the 26-letter name of God. Moshe, remember, got an education by his mother till he was weaned. So that's what he used.
Where is this? Is this given as a detail below? That he used it?
No, it's in Rashi.
No, it's downstairs. Footnote 68.
It's just saying how they derive that. The fact that it says, do you want to kill me by saying? All right, moving on. Next Rashi. Vayira Moshe. Moshe was afraid. He was afraid kipshuta. He was simply terrified that he was, he was caught as someone who killed a Nazi Egyptian. Umidrasha, the Medrash says a little different. You know what he was really afraid about? Dog le'al sh'Rabbi Yisrael Hashem del Teirin. He was disturbed, he was perturbed that he saw that there's Jewish people who are wicked informers.
Why?
These are the Jewish people that God wants to save.
Why?
Whatever. Maybe they don't deserve to be saved. If this is a sampling of the Jews, maybe they don't deserve to be saved. Maybe they're going to be like this because they got a lot of wicked people.
Capos. Capos.
What?
Capos.
Capos.
What's apos? What's apos?
In Nazi Germany, there were Yidden who
Oh,
oversaw.
kapos. Right. Yeah.
Why?
Indeed, the matter is known. So it says kimashmoi. Literally, like indeed, the matter is known. The cat's out of the bag. Midrasha inaydli adav sheyisi tamei alav. Medrash says the thing about which I wondered is now I understand the thing I was wondering. I was wondering for all these years, why are the Jews chosen to suffer more than any other nation in slavery? I see that some of them are deserving. Some of them are so degenerate that they inform on other people. They deserve, okay. Next page, 26. Pharaoh heard about this matter and sought to kill Moshe. And he sought to kill Moshe. So Moshe ran away from Pharaoh. And he stayed in the land of Midian. There he sat down by the well. So Pharaoh actually heard Rashi Vishpare. They carried out the threat. They went to Pharaoh and informed of Moshe. And he wanted to kill Moshe. So it says what actually happened was Masar Lekustinar is like executioner. Laharga to kill him. They gave Moshe actually was taken to the execution room. But the sword could not hurt Moshe.
Whoa.
His neck turned to marble, maybe?
That was when.
Or that was by Esav, right? Okay, I don't know. They couldn't kill him. And Moshe,
Maybe.
no, but as I remember, Moshe later on says that miracles happened, that the executioner got blind and then or deaf and blind, and then the people said, kill him, and he couldn't hear him, and then Moshe, I guess here the sword just simply didn't work.
Did it break?
Break, I don't know. But the point is that miracles happen, that Moshe escaped.
Oh, man.
Hushar Moshe, later on it says, he saved me from Pharaoh's sword. God saved me from Pharaoh's sword. Vayeshev Midian, and he stayed in the land of Midian. Vayeshev means he settled there. Like Vayeshev means sitting, it means he settled there. Like Vayeshev Yaakov. Vayeshev Ber, but here Vayeshev means, the second Vayeshev means he sat. He sat by the well. He learned from Yaakov, Shizdavel Zivug Alaber. He learned from Yaakov that he met his marriage partner by the means of the well. Tazayin. 16. Midian Shavabanos. The Lord of Midian had 7 daughters. And they came and they drew water and filled their channels to give their father's sheep to drink. Rashi, what's a kohen? We know the term Kohen. We don't have Kohen yet because we didn't get the Torah yet, but we have the term Kohen a few times. Kohen, in this case, means the Lord, the highest ranking person over them. It can mean priest or Lord or like highest noble. Here it means noble. He was the leader of Midian, but they actually had just impeached him because he had recanted against idol worship. Eser Rahatim, the water channels. Rahatim is brechas, or channels, roots where the water flows through them. The water channels with which were cut into the ground. The other shepherds came and drove them away. And Moshe rose and rescued them. And he gave their sheep to drink. So the shepherds came and they're pushing them around, driving them away. Because again, they're angry that these are the daughters of the recanting leader. Moshe arose and he saved them and he gave their sheep to drink. Rashi, Vayagarsham, they drove them away because of the niddah, because of the ostracism that their father and his family and his daughters were subject to. They came back to Ruel, their father. The Imri said, why did you come back so quickly today?
They're inferring that from the fact that the shepherds drive his daughters away, that he was ostracized.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's inferring. I think it's a clue for the oral midrash.
Yeah.
They came back to their father Ruel, and he said, why did you come back so quick today? Usually you have to fight and you have to get around the barriers. It took so quick. And they said, Ish Mitzri, an Egyptian man, saved us from the other shepherds. And he also drew water for us. And he gave our sheep to drink. Rashi, no Rashi. He said to Zorah, and where is he? Why did you leave him outside? Call him and let him eat some food. Rashi, why did you leave the man? He realized this is a Jacob descendant. Because the water rose towards him.
Wow.
Let him come inside and eat bread. It's a euphemism for marry. Maybe he'll marry one of you. We see by Pharaoh's wife was called the bread of her husband as a euphemism, as a prudish euphemism. Moshe agreed to stay with the man as Ish. And he gave his daughter Tzipporah to Moshe's wife. Chavalef, vayoyel. Yoyel is an unusual word. It means kitargumai. You got Unkelus. What he said. What Unkelus say? Utzvi. It means he agreed. We see similar places in Tanakh, this word. Hayol navelin, v'lu hayalnu, hayaltul daber. That's the simple meaning in the Tanakh. It means agreed. He consented. Midrash Lashon Allah, the Medrash says it's actually an oath. Nishma loy shloyaz midin kibrishosei. Yoel is from the same root as the word Allah. Allah is like a oath on pain of curse. He took an oath that he would never leave Midian without Yisro's permission. And Moshe kept his word. Chav Gimel, next page, 28, verse 23. It was in those many days, literally many days, the king of Egypt died, and the children of Israel sighed as a result of their heart, they groaned as a result of the harsh labor, and they cried out. And their pleas, which stemmed from the hard labor, went up to God. Rashi was in those days, during those many days. So days means years. Long, long days. Shaya Moshe Garbin, it was in those days that Moshe was living in Midian that the king died, and the Jews need extra salvation. Hutzrucho Yisrael L'Shua. Moshe, and then it continues. Moshe next tomorrow he's shepherding. Therefore, the parashiyos are juxtaposed. This is an old text of Rashi manuscript. Okay. The king of Egypt died. He died. He actually, according to the Medrash, he didn't actually die. He had a harsh form of leprosy, which is a form of death. It's so miserable. He was alive. What he would do the doctor said the remedy as a salve for the leprosy was to take baby blood and bathe in it. So he slaughtered Israelite babies and bathed in their blood.
That's disgusting.
So according to, at least there's two, according to Rashi, he says he didn't actually die. It's the same Pharaoh. It's just he had a miserable disease that is compared to like a living death. And that's why, because if he died, why would they groan? They'd be happy, at least temporarily. So it's not death. He was in this kind of miserable disease, and he was oppressing them and killing more of the Jews. Next verse, God heard their cry, and he recalled his covenant with this Avram, Yitzchak, Yaakov, the forefathers. Rashi, nakasam, unusual word, it means tzakasam. Esprit says Avram, his covenant with Abraham, S means with Avram. The children, God saw the children of Israel. He saw the situation and God knew them. Knowing means what? He showed that he's paying attention now to their suffering. God did not make himself hidden from their situation. He's now going to show, I'm going to start saving them. Because you can't say God always knows. The point is, it means in the figure that God showed that he cared, showed that he's paying attention by